Welcome to Visionaries Global Media, your number one source for podcasting entertainment. Visionaries Global Media, envisioning excellence on a global scale.
This is Banned from Ringside.
Tonight on the Banned from Ringside podcast, we talk about Kenny Omega's foray into Impact and back to AEW. NXT last night, the TLC build in WWE main roster, the Keith Lee WrestleMania rumors, that and a whole bunch more tonight on the Banned from Ringside podcast. Almost forgot to.
You know, it happens.
Yeah. Ditch that 9 to 5. It's time to feel alive. Hello, Mark. So welcome to the Man from Ringside podcast. As always, I'm your host, Bill Vagey, a.k.a. Frosty the Snow Hand.
Nice.
And to my left, as always, we have Jason Cornelius Bell. What's going on, JCB?
Allow us to bow our heads as I read from the latest edition of the Banned from Ringside podcast, volume 185, chapter 3, verse 14, and the good smart saith, hashtag boo the heels. It is all good, baby. Listen, share, subscribe, repeat. Just shout out to everybody. Just be safe, be healthy out there. It's that time of season where you want to spend time with the family and friends and all that good stuff. Spread the holiday cheer, but while doing that, be safe. And wear the mask, do what you need to do. Make sure we get past this nonsense so we can enter 2021 happy, healthy, and safe.
Yeah, let's not spread the holiday COVID, am I right? I know motherfuckers that are getting the vaccine already, so let's...
Really?
Well, I mean, they're doctors and nurses and stuff, but I mean, we're in the home stretch of this thing. No Zach Pullman tonight. No Two Beer Zach. He is recovering from... surgery?
4. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I think it only counts as one surgery.
It's 4 teeth, man.
Yeah, it's 4 teeth. He got his wisdom teeth pulled, so he's going to come back a lot dumber. Joey, you might have seen on Twitter that Lucha Chris Murray Man was supposed to make his triumphant return today. Sometimes life gets in the way. It didn't work out that way. It was a real roller coaster for me today, trying to figure out what's going on with the podcast. Jason wasn't supposed to be here. Now Jason's here, and Tinder Mahal's going to be here in a little bit. Tons of stuff to talk to, as always. Before we get too far into it, Jason, why don't you tell us about F&B Eatery?
F&B Eatery on the corner of 3453 Southampton and Marquette, home of the greatest smash burger you've never heard of. So why don't you just get your stocking stuffer in, slide on into my DMs, get you a gift card. That way we can get one less thing off the Christmas list that you need to take care of. Or if you're feeling frisky, slide on over, get you some carry out, get the family fed. That way you got one less thing you got to worry about in life. F&B Eatery on the corner of 3453 Southampton and Marquette. Tell them that Banned from Ringside sent you.
Okay, let's get to that. 3 counts.
1, 2, 3.
JCB, kick it off.
I can talk about anything.
You can talk about anything.
Let's get it out the way. Let's talk main roster first. I know we got predictions for Sunday coming up.
Yeah, and we told Joey that we'd wait for him to do the AEW stuff. So
I don't mind following under grenade. We all know that. Just some quick thoughts on main roster from my point of view. I'm excited for Drew and AJ. I know it's the first time that they met, and this being a ladder match, I guess I didn't really trip off the fact it was going to be a ladder match until Monday night when they did the quote-unquote ascension ceremony. That basically is code word for me is contract signing. That means all hell's getting ready to break loose, which it really didn't, but nonetheless, I guess I just didn't realize that a TLC match was a ladder match in this scenario. I'm fine with it, whatever. AJ is a great person to get this next chapter of Drew McIntyre's title reign going. AJ is going to give a great match. He'll go down, and it won't hurt him. It'll just add to Drew's legacy. If you're a Drew McIntyre guy, it will give you more fuel to the fire for him possibly being your 2020 Wrestler of the Year. On the male side, I'm looking forward to Roman Reigns and KO. I said it the other day. I'm still surprised that Paul Heyman has said so little, at least on SmackDown, obviously on Talking Smack, if you watch that, he does a good share talking. There's a great promo. Oh, I shouldn't say a great promo, but a great segment between he and Big E, maybe dropping some future seeds down the line. But basically, Heyman is anointing Big E as the next big thing, quote unquote. If you haven't seen that, I would definitely suggest to check that out. Maybe there is some foreshadowing in that. One never knows. I never thought that I would see Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns together, but it is 2020. Weird shit is happening.
That's for sure.
From there, Sasha Carmella kind of intrigues me a little bit because it's a reboot of Carmella, but I still expect Sasha to kind of do her thing there. Spoiler alert, I'll get that out the way that you can chalk me up for Sasha in that match. Really from there, that's where I guess the decline starts to go down because now it gets into more of the sports entertainment portion of WWE, which either is hit or miss.
Now you might kind of be like jumping the gun here because we're not doing predictions yet.
I know.
Oh, you knew you were jumping the gun?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain Sasha's going to win that match.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Did anything happen on? Okay, well. Okay, sorry. Keep going. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. Fine.
Am I missing something?
Well, I mean, I thought that maybe we would talk about. Well, it's. What
do you want to talk about?
Listen, it's your count.
Yeah, I wish. I was about to say it's our show. What do you want? Well, I mean, what do you want to talk about that I haven't touched on just yet?
Well, we're going to talk about all that stuff later. Let's talk about what the fuck they're doing with Riddle. What the fuck are they doing with Riker and Elias? What are they doing with Miz and Morrison?
Okay, well, I'll start with the last question first. Miz and Morrison are just that team. They're going to be the team that is your opening segment of Raw. I know Two Beer put this on our group chat. I can't think. Is it 2 years to the day, the 17th or the 18th? I'm getting my dates mixed up. But 2 years ago.
2 years to the day, yes. It was the 18th where Vince and Stephanie and Triple H and Shane, they all came out hat in fucking hand, as Tony Soprano would say, and they say, oh, we realize that we're not. That was when their ratings were at an all-time low. They'd probably kill for those ratings right now.
2.5 was the rating at that point.
And they said, we're gonna, you know what? We haven't been doing our part. We're gonna start giving you guys what you want. And really, maybe we should have started here because AEW beat WWE in the 18 to 49 demographic. All 3 hours of Raw versus 2 hours of AEW. So it kind of begs the question. Sorry, I just totally hijacked your
No. This is way more interesting.
It kind of begs the question. Well, how can WWE fuck up what essentially I think WWE, our Wrestling Observer, our Wrestling Critic, I know Wrestling Observer is Dave Meltzer's thing, Brian Alvarez, who's a wrestling journalist, said that it just proves that competent storytelling is beating currently the greatest roster that's ever been assembled, which is WWE's roster. If you look at Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, it's hard to argue that that's the greatest roster ever assembled.
I've said it for many, many podcasts.
So, is Vince going to take this? Well, I think we know the answer to this. This is almost a rhetorical question.
Right.
Is Vince going to take this as maybe I need to do a wholesale, change about how I do things? Or is he going to, break the glass and have Brock come out or pay somebody else a whole bunch of money, The Rock, for example, to come out of retirement? Because now the rumors are for WrestleMania, it's Keith Lee, Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre in a triple threat. You know how that makes me feel. But, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on AEW so quickly taking over WWE?
I wouldn't think that would happen this fast. I thought it would be more of a 3 to 5 year plan where, ultimately you would start to catch up and maybe surpass, especially Raw numbers, because Raw is the flagship show. I got a hard time understanding where Vince thinks that some of this is entertaining. Some of this is, captivating to watch. Don't get me wrong. There are some storylines that I watch out for every week on both shows. But then you have stuff like the 24/7 title. You got Otis and Chad Gable. A bunch of throwaway kind of, filler matches, filler segments. Lana, God bless her. Some people are on board with that. I'm personally I'm not feeling it. I don't think that's a good way to get a baby face over by slamming through her table multiple weeks. That's just me. I'm just saying. I mean, come on. Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me. I guess ultimately it just boils down to Vince is just going to be stubborn enough to say, I'm going to make this work. And it's going to have to take somebody, maybe it's going to be USA, to say, hey, these numbers are still in decline. It's 2 years, and they've gone down. Okay? It was 2.5 2 years ago. It's like 1.7, 1.8 now. That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with the pandemic, I think. Some people just don't like watching wrestling when there's no crowd there. I get that.
God bless Joey. I went over there Monday night. This joker fell asleep on Monday Night Raw.
Does that not usually happen to him?
But that's my point, though. I guess...
He's also old now, though.
I'm older than him, and I struggle through that bullshit on a week-to-week basis. I want to hear that nonsense.
But when we first met Joey, we were like, oh, here's this kid. He's got tattoos. He's got long hair with a goofball. Now he's like an old. He's like a fucking regular old 38-year-old. What I'm saying is, make no mistake about it. If AEW Dynamite was on Monday nights, they would crush WWE Raw.
I was going to push back on that, but I have a hard time pushing back on that.
They would crush it.
Just for the simple fact that when I stop and think about both shows, I was way more invested in Dynamite than I was in Raw.
Oh, well, of course. I mean, it's not even close. I'm more invested in Dynamite than I am any show on a weekly basis right now.
Fair.
And you got to think that some of those people that are watching Dynamite on Wednesday night are still watching Raw.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's and that's a lot of people are like, why do you, watch Raw? Why do you watch WWE? Because, you apparently you hate it. I don't hate it. It's just, it's what I'm used to doing. This is the foundation for my wrestling experience. So, of course, I'm going to watch Raw.
Yeah, it's a habit.
Of course, I'm going to watch SmackDown. Of course, I'm going to watch NXT. It's WWE. I'm going to watch. It's the biggest company in the world.
It's a habit. It's like watching Monday Night Football. It might be the fucking Eagles versus whoever, but I'm still going to watch it.
Pick my head in, see what's happening, and if you capture my attention, then I'll watch.
That's habitual viewing. TV's been running off of that for a long time, and Raw got in very early in terms of our lifetimes because it was 27 years ago, and I've basically been watching it for 21. So that's habitual viewing. But for AEW to come in and shake it up like that, really, they've only been around a year and 2 months or something? 14 months?
Yeah, I was about to say a year and some change.
I mean, it's just not even close. Which I want to take this opportunity to also say this is why guys like Sting should not get that much airtime on AEW, because while it might be like an anchor for some viewers to say, oh, well, here's this guy that I know that I used to like, maybe I'll stick around, he is not a selling point for most people.
I don't think he is, and I don't think he will be, but just kind of peek forward to last night. He came out, and then he left, and you didn't see anything after the fact of his one little segment. That was it.
Yeah, it was perfect.
That's perfect. That's really all you need. Like I said, Sting is there to get eyes on the product. If he wins a title, it'll probably be the TNT title off of Darby Allin, because basically, like we talked about last week, when you're basically pointing at him from the ring into the stands, that match is, basically check.
Sure.
Cody, Sting, check. Now from there,
unless Thunder Rosa gets a belt and then Sting can go after her because she also has the face paint, but that
he might have to wait. And
that's neither here nor there.
Dr. Britt Baker.
But how can you? There's really no way to say this nicely is that Raw and SmackDown have been terrible for a long fucking time. And Raw this week didn't have as much of a problem filling up 3 hours as they did the week before, but I write down the segments every week in this notepad. And I write, every time it's Hurt Business, every time they're in a segment, I write down HB. There's HBs all over this thing every fucking Monday. Like, it's fun having MVP back, and they're a cool faction, and I think they have a cool name.
Right.
But it is overkill at this point with those guys. Miz and Morrison. I write down Eminem. There's M&Ms all over this motherfucker, man. Right. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler. Yeah. It's every fucking week with these things. And,
okay.
And this
Never
is
mind.
not. This
we'll
is,
wait for the predictions for that one.
This is not an indictment of the talent. And
No.
I hate having to say that, but it's really not. But fucking Retribution, I write down RETRI, and there's all over this shit, man.
That one I don't necessarily understand myself. I mean, okay, so Ricochet is like, what, the last domino to fall? I mean, that's like going to complete Voltron. I don't get why they're
squashed. He got squashed by Mace.
Right. Number one. And number two, in the pre-match promo, Mace is talking about, Ricochet's holding me down. Ricochet's the guy that's holding me down. Man, get the fuck out of here. Ricochet's a mid-card guy at best that won the U.S. Championship, that went over to fucking Saudi, that got squashed by Brock Lesnar. That's the last dude you talking about, that you should be talking about, that's holding you down, okay? He's the furthest person that's holding you down. The guy that's holding you down is the same guy that's holding Mustafa Ali down and all this other nonsense. Okay, so let's just keep it clean for 30 seconds. Jesus Christ.
Hold on a second, everybody. We have a new entrant into the Band From Ringside podcast.
Oh, hell yeah.
I say you got to turn on the mic.
Tinder Mahal is here. Tinder, so we were just talking about how AEW surpassed WWE in the 18 to 49 age group. For Raw's all 3 hours, AEW beat them in the 18 to 49 age group. And we're talking about how Vince has kind of soiled what really is the greatest roster of all time versus competent storytelling on AEW's part. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I have a lot of thoughts on that, actually.
Let it rip, dude.
So if you look at WWE in its current state, and you look, they have this big roster of talent, but you look at it, it reminds me of like early to mid-90s WWF. Because what do you see? You see bright colors, you see neon colors, everyone's tights are purple or green. Or this is a show. They're presenting the show as a children's show. This is a show for people from ages to 6 to 12. This is not a show for 18 to 49. And Jason came over on Monday, and I was a little high, but I fell asleep in the first hour.
Yeah, Jason already talked about that.
You're supposed to say that.
I mean, literally. You think about, like, you got all these stars. You got Rollins, you got Matt Riddle, you got AJ Styles, so on. There's so many guys. I can keep going. But
Cesaro.
This is a product that is made for children. And
oh, you're talking about the kiddie part. Yes. Okay.
I think that's the end all be all of it. I think that's why the 18 to 49 demographic is not watching WWE programming. Okay,
so just quick sidebar. So is that why, and I'm not saying this to be funny, I'm just throwing it out there. So Orton puts Bray Wyatt on fire in the coffin or whatever.
Unbelievable.
On Monday night.
Just insanely stupid segment.
So yeah, it just drug on. I'm like, God damn it, this is the fucking ridiculousness.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
So now we get to that, and Bray Wyatt gets set on fire. The Fiend comes out, chokes Randy Orton to set up this Firefly Inferno match. Jesus Christ, I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Nobody does.
Hurts just thinking about it. See, that's another reason why I don't like WWE in this shit. A, what the fuck is a Firefly Inferno match? B, are they putting this segment in to get the 18 to 49? It's not like we haven't already seen it. It's really a recycled storyline, which I don't necessarily mind, but we just saw it. Plus, literally, we just saw it.
Plus, in the Central Time Zone, that segment happened between 9 and 10 o'clock p.m. So that segment happened in a time when most 6 to 12-year-olds are probably not watching anymore.
Fair.
And what they tried to do for a while, and you know what? I'm going to keep this in mind for the Beefers this year when the Beefers comes around, when we do the worst angle of the year. You guys remember Raw Underground? Yes. Remember when they tried making 9 to 10 Raw Underground? And it was like, wait a minute, what is this? Wait a minute. Like, it didn't make any sense. There were no ropes. It was just Shane. It was like Shane was like the super rich guy in 8mm or something. It's like, what is going on here?
Let them fight. Let them fight. They just talking. But yeah, it was pretty bad.
You know, that I'm glad you brought that up. That Bray Wyatt Randy Orton segment where Randy Orton put him in a box, set it on fire, the Fiend came out. That's the kind of shit that's on when like one of your non-wrestling friends comes over and they're like, you watch this shit?
Right.
Or like they turn it on and they're like, dude, I would turn on wrestling the other night because I know how much you like it. And the Revival where they had Icy Hot down their pants. I remember Kevin Lisi did that to me one week. He's like, dude, you watch this shit? It's like, I know, man, that's the most terrible shit that there is.
Yeah.
AEW is at least wrestling for teenagers.
Even the Miro and the Miro angle is one of the angles that I didn't really like, but now they're kind of focusing away from the video game angle and getting more towards Miro as a monster angle. Even that angle I didn't necessarily like, but it still wasn't as silly as what you see on Monday nights on a regular fucking basis, okay? It's so hard to get through that shit for 3 fucking hours. It would be different if they utilized this roster, but it's really a handful of men and women, and it's basically that's it. Everybody else is out there to fend for themselves. God bless Big E. I'm waiting patiently for a Big E run. When he loses to Sami Zayn on some stupid shit like that, and God love the baby faces, but baby faces across the board are kind of silly or not very smart. In WWE, they're just like box of rocks dumb, okay? Big E is getting ready to start falling into this category, and I'm not sure that if this is going to be a scenario where ultimately I hope he's going to get the mid-card title. The Intercontinental title is perfect for Big E. You can start there, and then maybe...
But, you know, like, the Intercontinental title is perfect for Big E, but, like, what does the fucking Intercontinental title even do anymore? Like, it doesn't mean anything anymore. It's completely, like...
I can't disagree with that.
Might as well put the fucking purple belt back out there.
I can't disagree with that. No, see, let's not do that shit. I was getting ready to say, bring back the old white strap like Cody had.
But, you know, they give you hope because it's like, you see like a three-way match with, you know, like you saw with Riddle and AJ and Keith Lee, and you're like, holy shit, oh yeah, they have all these fucking talented guys who can go out there and tear the fucking house down. And then they give you the fucking Firefly Funhouse match.
Or you have Keith Lee lose to Miz and Morrison in a handicap match that's basically set up that Keith Lee should have won and didn't. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Shelton Benjamin. Can you rewind that for just a second?
This is a great pod.
So we're watching. But speaking of Shelton Benjamin,
we're watching TLC 2009.
I'll tell you, if I'm going to say something positive here, my favorite thing in WWE right now is that faction.
But, I mean, okay, and Bill was just talking about this before you got here. It's so many Hurt Business segments.
It's just overkill. They're on Raw so often.
Because they're the only, like, it's the only thing that's working.
Yeah, but then you have Riddle squash MVP in 48 seconds clean the other night.
Okay, but MVP is not. MVP can get squashed. That's irrelevant, okay?
There is no reason to have that match last 48 seconds. Then just don't have it.
The match. That part I agree with. But if it's going to be anybody from the Hurt Business that loses in 48 seconds, MVP should be at the top of that list. It's basically setting up Lashley and Riddle is my ultimate guess, which is fine.
I mean, they're making Lashley look strong, which is good, but I agree with Bill. I just think that having MVP get beat that quickly is there's no point to it. Like, they're supposed to be like this top, you know, running the table faction, and you got a guy getting beat in 48 seconds. Like, I didn't even see the match, but still.
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah,
but, I
obviously.
mean, I guess here's my other point with the Hurt Business.
It's 48 seconds, literally.
Yeah, right. I guess my other problem with the Hurt Business is how they flip them heel and faces, and which they do a lot of people. Big Show is like the one we all laugh about and giggle about, but I mean it's more now to a point where this is starting to become common practice, where you can kind of flip somebody. Tucker, okay, Tucker turned on Otis a while back. We ain't seen Tucker since he turned on Otis. You know what I'm saying? So I mean.
Well, now they have Otis and Gable together instead of Tucker. Now they have Billy Kay and Natty together. They broke up the Iconics for what reason? I don't know. At least they were good heels.
They were a competent tag team. You couldn't tell me. I'd rather have them as the tag team champions than have Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler chase Asuka versus what's happening right now. You got 3 titles tied up between 4 women.
Do you know that Joey just hit me on the knee and gave me the "let's get this going" sign?
Oh, okay. So he's here now.
Yeah, we got a new QB of the pod.
Okay,
He's talked about it long enough.
Okay, Justin Herbert, go ahead.
You know, but that's fair enough. You know, we were waiting for him to get to that AEW shit. So let's get to that 2 counts.
1, 2, 3.
All right, Joe. 2 counts yours. AEW Dynamite.
It was is there anything right now hotter in wrestling than Kenny Omega and Don Callis?
Of course not.
I mean,
Roman Reigns is a close. If you want to
Fuck
argue,
no.
if you want to argue it, that's the only thing. It's the only thing.
Roman Reigns is being really, really well written, but it's not. It's good for Roman Reigns and it's good for WWE. It's not hot like Kenny Omega.
It's not quote unquote impactful like Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is going on basically 2 to 3 shows, depending on what you watch. AAA, Impact, and AEW, basically within the last week. Okay, Roman Reigns is basically dominating SmackDown. God bless you for it.
Isn't that kind of the point though? Like, he's hot as fuck.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying the counter argument,
Hey, Jay,
second part.
Jay, he's the king of wrestling. There is no higher. Sucker MC. You know where I'm going with this.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Ready to Rumble. I'll say, knock yourself out.
Kenny Omega right now is doing what we expected Kenny Omega to do, which is be the best wrestler in the world. And he hasn't even had those matches yet. Those are coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's only going to get better.
The match last night was fun though.
It was very fun.
Yeah.
And the exchange between Don Callis and Tony Schiavone, I was rolling. I was rolling. I couldn't get enough of that. Yeah, it was great. I thought that what else happened? I love the exchange between the Death Triangle and Eddie Kingston
and fam. Yeah,
and Butcher and Blade. Real quick, the women's division in AEW, I thought Serena Deeb was exceptional last night. I think she's the best in-ring worker in that company.
Okay, that's fair. I don't have a problem with that. Go ahead.
But I thought that you could, once those other girls got in there, you could really see a difference.
We're just talking specifically from last night.
Yeah.
And we're talking about
the tag team match.
Okay, and difference being good or bad?
Bad.
Bad on which side?
Both. I thought everything looked choppy and very, it's like, I don't use this term often, but, wrestling is a very choreographed thing, obviously. It's predetermined.
Right.
But when people don't know what they're doing and they're not sure of themselves, wrestling looks really, really fucking fake. It looks so fake. And last night when those girls got in there, minus Serena Deeb, I thought it looked fake as hell. I thought everything looked slow and choppy, and it wasn't fluid. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
It didn't seem fluid to me, but I really enjoy her work. I'm looking forward to her, having some good opponents. I love her stuff with, help me out here, former NWA champion.
Thunder Rosa,
thank you. But, she's a good start. Hopefully they get more opponents for her and some good matchups, but those other girls aren't even on her level. And then I watched, not to get too far ahead, I watched NXT last night, and I was like, yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah, we'll get to NXT in a minute. It started off with Hardy Party, Private Party with Matt Hardy against Hangman Page, John Silver, and some other dude. I can't remember his name.
Alex Reynolds.
Thank you very much. It looked like Matt Hardy was kind of teasing.
Oh, ain't no tease.
I mean, that's a heel turn.
That's what heels do.
Seems kind of soon, though, right?
No, the little 30-second vignettes that he's had were kind of the precursor to this point. And then what a good heel does is let everybody else do all the work, tag me in, and let me get the pin.
Have you seen my mentions on Twitter? I know what a good heel does.
Okay, fair enough.
What do you think about Matt Hardy with Private Party, Joe?
I think it's time for him to go. I think it's time for him to do, become a heel, do something else. It's just like, how much longer? If he really wants to wrestle, basically right now, he's just kind of like a mentor / manager for them.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think he needs to wrestle all that much longer, especially after that. That bump he took against Sammy Guevara. It's terrible.
It's painful to watch him walk to the ring sometimes. I mean, let's be honest with you.
Honestly, I don't pay attention to him walking to the ring. I pay attention to him, obviously, in ring. I mean, in ring last night, he was doing fine. It wasn't like he was, he's really over the hill. I'm not saying I disagree with you, Joe. It's getting close to that point where he might want to be time to wrap it up, and maybe this is the reason why we have this new heel turn from Matt Hardy. He sees it, they see it, and it might be time to go ahead and get one more good push out of him, and then he can go backstage or go back to North Carolina, whatever he wants to do.
Put somebody over. Just put over who you want to put over. If he wants to put over Private Party, I think
Sammy Guevara was the one he should have put over, and they didn't do it.
Right, and I think Private Party might be a little too young and too green to necessarily put over in a big way right now. The tag division in AEW is so loaded, but there are a lot of young teams that they have going right now. A lot of guys like...
I was about to say that 7-man tag team, or 12-man tag team match, I'm sorry.
The Acclaimed is getting a title shot next week, though. And the Acclaimed hasn't been around very long at all. I like them. I think that they're cool, but I don't know why they're getting a title shot. I thought records were supposed to matter.
I'll let Joey go first since he's the AEW mark, but I have my own thoughts. Go ahead.
What do you want to know about?
Why do you think that the Acclaim is getting the title shot after these wins, and then obviously the biggest win up to this point is being
just to build their
SU.
character, just to build their characters.
I mean, they're not going to win. Clearly,
they're not going. Absolutely, they're not going to win. It's just to build up, give a title shot going. The Bucks are going to keep the titles for a while, and you're introducing this new tag team, has a lot of charisma, and why not give them a title shot? Why not have a story for them?
Fair enough. Cody and Brandy are expecting. Congratulations, Cody and Brandy. So Brandy had another face turn this week. She is she's the big show of AEW. She's been turning face heel, face heel, face heel.
You ain't shit.
Having a baby, being pregnant, obviously turns you face. But last week she was talking all sorts of shit to Shaq. But here's the thing. She knew she was pregnant. So why was she going so hard into the heel direction? You know what? Brandy Rhodes, come on, band from ringside. I'll let you air it out.
I was about to say, you can come here and talk.
Cody went up against Angelico. Is it Angelico?
Angelico
in a random fun match. Cody goes over. Team Taz comes out. I love Team Taz. I'm all in on Team Taz.
All in.
I think they're great.
Pun intended.
They talk a bunch of shit. Sting comes out and just kind of looks at everybody for a little while there. What are we thinking about Miro? Miro cuts a fun promo.
Reminding everybody that Christmas is still Miro Day.
It actually is Miro Day. That's correct.
But real quick, did we see this tweet that Miro put out there recently? Did we see that?
About Lana?
About Lana?
Yeah.
What did it say?
Go ahead, Jay.
On Monday night, Lana obviously pinned Nia Jax in a kind of a weird, funky pinning combination, and Miro basically said in a tweet, I'm paraphrasing this obviously, that he taught Lana that move, and
No, he taught her that move in the bedroom last night, is what he said, essentially.
Okay, there you go. Even better.
Is that the news that you were reading?
Oh, I just love this guy. He doesn't give a fuck.
No, he doesn't give a fuck. He is a very engaging personality. He has tons of charisma that, not trying to beat a dead horse, that WWE just did not exploit at all. They had it at their fingertips. He got over by himself with the other guy from the Vaudevillains. What's his name?
Oh, don't tell
Not
me.
Simon Gotch.
Aiden English.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Those two guys got over on their own together, and WWE was like, you know what? This isn't good enough for us. We don't want to do that. It's kind of like when Damien Sandow got over as Damien Mizdow, and WWE was just like, you know what? We're not going to do this.
Well, it's a pattern of behavior. You know what I'm saying? It's what's your boy that was in Matt Cardona, a.k.a. Long Island IZ. He was the precursor to this whole fucking thing.
He wasn't my boy. Is he Joe's boy?
No. Well, he could be Joe's boy because,
No.
he's the AEW mark in this room at this point. So, yeah, Joe, you got to take Matt Cardona at this point.
Yeah, he's yours.
But, it doesn't change what has happened. It is a pattern of behavior. WWE can get a little petty when it comes down to it, and these are perfect examples of how they can be petty.
You mean how Rusev went on AEW, called Vince McMahon an asshole on live TV, and then his wife proceeded to get thrown through a table 10 weeks in a row,
give or take,
right up into the pay-per-view, and now she's been taken out of the pay-per-view, and now it's Asuka and TBD against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler?
Never mind. We can wait for who you think TBD is.
We can wait. Yeah, we can talk about it.
I got to guess.
I got to guess, too. Okay, so we talked about Eddie Kingston. I liked how they teased during that Eddie Kingston, Butcher and the Blade, Archer, Death Triangles scenario. I like how they teased Archer versus Pac because that's a feud that I would like to see quite a bit.
That was great.
BFR, we are Archer marks here on BFR. At least Zach, Jason, and Bill are, especially after the G1 that he had last year.
They're fighting each other to be like, who's going to kick his ass first? No, I'm going to kick his ass first. No, I'm going to kick his ass first. That's what the great part about AEW is that it still has its comedic moments, which obviously I've been on record not a huge fan of comedic across the board. It's not just with AEW. But even still, when it does have its comedic moments, here are those moments where two guys have a beef against the same guy, and now they're fighting each other to who gets to beat up this guy first.
Yeah, I like that a lot, too. And before anybody gets in my mentions and says, well, you got a problem with Raw putting Hurt Business on too much, why don't you have a problem with the Death Triangle making 2 appearances in a 2-hour show? The Death Triangle is still new, and Pac has only been back for a couple weeks, so I'm okay with it. In fact, I love the more Pac, the better. Joey, what do you think?
It's amazing. I was watching the shot where Pac looks to the ropes, and Archer's standing over him, and he's looking at the Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny and all them. And I'm looking at him, and I'm just thinking, look at this fucking guy. Look at this badass motherfucker. Look at the look in his eyes. He wore a goddamn cape 2 years ago in WWE. Yeah,
Vince wanted to do a Mighty Mouse. Vince wanted to do a Mighty Mouse type character with Adrian Neville, also known as Pac now, the bastard Pac, and he's such a badass. He's such a badass. I know we're beating a dead horse by saying that Vince is out of touch and really doesn't get it anymore, but it is astounding that he makes all the big decisions pretty much in the most popular, lucrative wrestling promotion in the world, and he's got all this talent at his disposal. I mean, all of it. And I'm not expecting it to be booked perfect. But we're getting Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. I love Bray Wyatt, and Randy Orton's cool too. We're getting Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton in a Firefly, what's it called? A Firefly Inferno match?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that, man? Why's everything got to be a gimmick?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I do. I remember him wearing a cape. He was badass.
No,
he was good in the cape.
see, this is why I remember it, but only when people bring it up. It's kind of like, we block that shit out. I
like
remember
Joker Sting.
Joker Sting was okay.
Shut up.
It was okay. It was okay.
It was not okay.
It was okay. I didn't say I liked it. It was okay.
But I'm just saying, Pac looks like a badass motherfucker who no one wants to fuck with.
There is no question
He's
about it.
ripped.
Okay.
Shredded.
Yes, he's absolutely shredded. He's got a mean-looking face. I mean, he looks like a bad guy in a Mission Impossible movie or something.
Absolutely.
Right.
Actually, boom. Oh, my God. Ding. They should make him a bad guy in the next Mission Impossible movie.
Make him a henchman like they did Batista in the
Not the henchman, the big bad.
Oh,
the big bad.
by the way, he can wrestle, too.
Oh, yeah. But, I
Yeah,
mean,
there's
I
that.
think that, yeah.
Goes
I
without
think,
saying.
I think that's kind of the secondary point with all this. I think, to me, the biggest point with this is guys like Pac, lesser names that have left WWE and gone other places where they didn't get a chance there, and they've been given chances other places. Deanna Purrazzo is the one that jumps off to my mind because it's just literally just happened. Leo Rush had a good showing at the Super J Cup. Other guys are getting chances. Other women are getting chances outside of WWE. And it's working. So now it's kind of like you got to look.
And the people are responding. Sorry to cut you off, but it like we started off this podcast by talking about how AEW is killing WWE. The people are responding. We didn't know what AEW was going to look like starting off. We didn't know if it was going to be booked well. And we're certainly not. We didn't start off as marks. We certainly started out hopeful.
Yeah.
And you can go back and listen to the podcast. We started out hopeful, but we did not start out as marks for this shit. It just listen. My remote control is not trying to make a point to anybody except for me. And my remote control starts off on AEW every week. And if it was AEW versus Raw, it would be. It would just destroy Raw. The only reason that NXT is even close to getting the type of holy shit, Shelton Benjamin, Jesus Christ, we're watching Shelton Benjamin 2009 versus Christian. Christian's my dog. The only reason that AEW is even close. Fuck you, Christian. The only reason AEW is even close to our NXT. I'm going to start over again. This is probably really great for the listeners.
Yeah, right.
The only reason that NXT is even close to AEW is because NXT is the best that WWE has to offer in terms of storytelling, not necessarily in terms of talent, but in terms of the way they use that talent. The only reason that NXT even competes with AEW, which it doesn't seem like it really is because NXT is the best thing that WWE has to offer.
Whew.
I apologize to the listeners for I got really caught up. I mean, this Christian Shelton Benjamin match is off the chain.
Real quick, if I can say this. Another thing about NXT, and I'm going to harp back to what I said about WWE before being, loud and bright and cartoony, is NXT is a darkly lit ring with a black apron, a black mat, yellow ropes, and cages are like fencing around it. It's presented as a very aggressive adult product. And then you got guys in there like Kyle O'Reilly and Pete Dunne beating the ever-loving shit out of each other.
Can't wait to get to that match. Cannot wait to get to that match.
I'm not going to say anything else, but it's presented in a different way. It's not presented bright and loud. It's presented as rough and,
cool.
dark.
Adult.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's cool. It's cool. It's the cool person's wrestling. It's not R-Truth running around with a bunch of Wile E. Coyotes running behind him trying to get the 24/7 belt.
I was awake for that, by the way.
God,
and when I think back to R-Truth, just as a little aside, my favorite thing that R-Truth ever did was when they had their London shows, that are pre-taped, and R-Truth got in a little program with John Cena when John Cena was the champ. and R-Truth lit a cigarette next to the ring and blew it in John Cena's face as John Cena was beat up on the ground? Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
And then they fought at the pay-per-view. I think the pay-per-view was called Capital Punishment.
Sounds right.
That was edgy R-Truth. That was cool R-Truth. And, R-Truth is getting his money, and apparently R-Truth and Vince, are actual, friends, I guess.
Makes sense.
But that is not shit. That's not why I watch wrestling. If I had a child, if I had a 8-year-old kid, I'd be like, oh, look at R-Truth. Hey, buddy, look at R-Truth. But that's not what I'm watching it.
Okay.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we shouldn't be watching it anymore at all.
WWE stands for World Wrestling Entertainment. Okay? And
AEW stands for All Entertainment Wrestling.
But
is that not true?
Unfortunately, no, it's not.
I don't know what the E stands for.
The E stands for entertainment, and that's what they lead with. Vince doesn't want this to be a wrestling company. He wants this to be entertainment. So, yeah, you're going to get clunkers like Otis being the Money in the Bank champion. You're going to get clunkers like Rey Mysterio losing an eye, or Aleister Black getting thrown off the top of the roof, or some silly shit like that. That's just how they lead forward. AEW feels like more, quote unquote, old school wrestling. We lead forward with wrestling. The titles actually kind of mean something. We sprinkle a little entertainment in. Dinner Debonair won for 2020 New York Times best segment or some nonsense. I don't know what the exact award was, but MJF was running.
Oh, that was real?
That's a real thing.
Yeah,
absolutely. That is a real award.
Oh, I thought it was totally made up.
No,
that's real deal shit.
And that was when him and Jericho sang?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet Zach's very happy. Zach was all over that segment, man.
Even silly, and I wouldn't say it's silly, but for me, it was silly, but it was still funny. Okay? And it still led into what we did with the storyline. Okay? It got us to where MJF beat Jericho and is now a part of the Inner Circle. If WWE did some shit like that, that would be a one-time, dare I say, Street Profits, Viking Raiders throwaway segment that we all hate. Well, I shouldn't say we all hate, but I hate it. I'll speak for myself. And then hopefully it would just get buried away. That shit with them just went week for week for weeks, and it never amounted to anything. At least this actually amounted to Jericho losing to MJF, and they got an award off of it.
Jesus. That's, that's cool.
Was that sarcastic?
No, I think that's cool. I think it's cool anytime that wrestling gets...
Did you seriously not know that?
No, I didn't know that was real. Take away my wrestling podcast credentials.
We already did.
Or buy your own shit, people, and do your own podcast. Best Friends versus Varsity Blondes. Best Friends, Varsity Blondes, and Top Flight versus the Inner Circle. This match...
It was a lot.
It was a lot, and it's a lot of people. And you know what? I really like that AEW doesn't do matches like this. So I'll give them a little bit of grace because I don't really want to watch matches like this.
8 to me is the max number.
Yeah, it's too many. It seemed kind of WWE-ish.
Yeah, a little bit.
Thunder Rosa gets beat down by Britt Baker. Then we have...
Hang on.
You want to talk about this?
For 30 seconds. Because
it's fine. It's your podcast, too.
I'm not a huge fan of the AEW women's division that's pretty much been documented week to week to week. This is the heat that Britt Baker needs with Thunder Rosa, but now we need to capitalize on it. Okay? There needs to be a match. Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, I don't know when it needs to happen. It needs to happen sooner versus later. At this point, I don't even give a fuck who goes over, to be perfectly honest. But there's matches that need to happen to get this women's division back on track. This is one of those matches.
Britt Baker has to go over. There's no doubt. It has to be Britt Baker.
Because she's signed with the company. That's the only reason.
They also already have Sting and Darby Allin with white and black face paint. I'm sorry, that's true. You can't have 3 people on your show with white and black face paint on. Joey, back me up.
He's right.
Thank you. God, that's nice to see. That is nice. Usually it's you and Zach just beating me up all the time. It's nice to have Joey here, man. Just fucking nice.
Let's get Joker Sting to come in and
right. You can't have that many people with white and black face paint. 2 is already too many. They have 3. And in fact, Thunder Rosa, it's the same side of the face that Darby Allin is.
What about Dustin Rhodes?
It's not white and black, but it's not ideal. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. None of them are as bad as the Fiend wearing a mask while he fights. I will never forgive that, and I hate it so much.
I don't necessarily mind the mask. I think it's okay.
Oh, God damn. But wrestling is like the NBA, though. You have to see their faces, right? Unless they're luchas. That's not a lucha mask. Oh, I hate it so much.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I know. We can keep it going. SCU versus the Acclaimed. SCU puts the Acclaimed over.
As they should.
SCU are really good about this. That probably makes them one of your favorites. I mean, you love old guys putting over young guys.
Well, they should. Come on.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's a good thing.
No,
but
SCU, I think, I shouldn't say individually. Well, yeah, even individually, I think they're good by themselves. They're even a little better together. But ultimately, this is about the Acclaimed getting over and putting them in a position to go against the Bucks. Now, I guess my initial point before I forgot about it was we was talking about wins and losses matter. I guess they were, and Tony, I think, said it, that Dynamite and Dark wins and losses matter. So leading up to this point where they were wrestling SCU last night, the Acclaimed won 7 in a row. You beat SCU, which is now your quote-unquote signature win. Now, that to me is where they can get the shot at the Bucks. If they didn't beat SCU and they got the title shot, I have a problem with that. But now they beaten up, the lower-ranked teams. They beat the seeded team. You want to play college football and kind of deal with that shit. Now you can get the champs and get that ass kicked. But ultimately, it still gets the Acclaimed over in the long run.
What do you think about the Acclaimed, Joe?
Well, I'm going to start out with SCU real quick. You know that scene in Napoleon Dynamite where Uncle Rico's selling the Tupperware to the people, and he says, "Lance, like a strong young pup, why don't you try and tear this?" And Lance tries real hard, and he can't tear it. And he's looking at him, and his wife's disappointed in him. That Tupperware, that is SCU. SCU could lose 10 matches in a row. It doesn't matter. They're that unbreakable Tupperware that... It's just, no matter how many times they put over guys.
Great analogy.
They fucking doesn't matter. They're not going to lose any muscle. And every time they go out there, whether Kazarian and Daniels, Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, they just fucking put on great matches. And they're the guys that make this tag team division work. They might be the most, not underutilized because they're obviously utilized, but they're underrated, I guess you'd say.
Well, they've been doing a lot of work, and they've never been to the big stage. They've never been to WWE. That everybody wants to go to the WWE because that's what gets them paid the most. They've never been there, and I mean, Christopher Daniels. If you talk to certain people, Christopher Daniels is a fucking legend. Like, people love the Fallen Angel Chris Daniels.
He's a legend in my book.
Yeah, I mean,
I was about to say, we were all at StarCast, the original. When he came through that first day on Saturday, him, Kaz, and Scorpio Sky, everybody was like, SCU! I mean, you could tell Christopher Daniels ate that shit up with a fucking spoon. Well, he strutted through that shit like literally like he was on the way to the ring. Did you go to
that Ring of Honor show with us in Collinsville at one time? Where it was me, you, John Jones? Like, Christopher Daniels put on a fucking show there, too, man. It was awesome.
How old is Christopher Daniels?
A little bit older than me. I think he's like 44, 45.
I mean, he carries himself like a star. He is a star. And obviously he does a lot of stuff backstage for AEW as well. I think he's basically like the Regal of WWE. Or of AEW, sorry. But anyway, you asked me about the Acclaimed.
I did.
I love them. They're great. I think they got a bright future, and I think that whole division's got a bright future. Every week you're seeing a new tag team. You're seeing somebody else get over more and more. And next week you got a 21-year-old and a 19-year-old versus Chris Jericho and MJF. You don't think these guys... I mean, this is unbelievable. No one's scared. No one's like, oh, that guy's too young. I'm not going to put him over. Jericho's like, bring me those fucking young boys. Let's see what they got. Let's see what they can do. And I guarantee you, those guys went out there against the Young Bucks, and they didn't miss a beat.
No, they certainly didn't. It was a great segment. My remote's broken. And finally, we already talked about Kenny Omega versus Janela, which was a very fun match. Kenny Omega, Janela selling his best, Kenny Omega getting over as well as he can. Doing a squash with a mic, wrestling a match with a mic is about as heelish as you can get. Don Callis was hilarious. As you said, Don Callis, the exchange between Callis and Shivani was awesome.
Shivani just looks like he's having the fucking time of his life, and I love that.
I'm sure he is. And we have Phoenix versus Kenny Omega coming up. I don't know, is that next week?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks for the belt. Now, that's a match that we saw at the very first All In.
No,
or was it
Penta.
Pentagon?
That was
it was
Penta.
Penta. Sorry. Okay.
Just as good, but I mean...
just as good, but
just a different person.
That is a fun match that we have to look forward to. Any other thoughts on AEW Dynamite before we get moving?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
Go ahead.
Jim Ross is one of the all-time best announcers, no doubt.
Agreed.
However, I do feel like he is the weak link of that broadcast team. And I feel like time's kind of passing him by when it comes to announcing AEW matches. And, you read all these articles about him not liking some of the talent and the way they wrestle and the way they work, and it's too fast-paced, and there's too many there's too many, dives and all this stuff. And I don't know. At this point, I really don't know where he fits in. What do you think about that?
It would be really hard for me to see JR leave this unless it was by his own accord. It would almost feel like you would be forcing him out, pushing him out. You don't necessarily want that if you're Tony. But on the same aspect, I do kind of agree with what you're saying. There are times where he does come across as the old get off my lawn kind of guy where, he misses some spots. He doesn't necessarily mind mispronouncing moves or names or things along those lines. As far as I'm concerned, until he says differently, you're kind of quote unquote stuck with Jim Ross. Then that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just you have to find a way to work around Jim Ross at this point.
I'll say this. He's a dinosaur. He's 75 years old or something, 73. He's definitely a dinosaur, and there's certain people that the way they think about things, they're just never going to think of it the same way that we do. And I'll include myself in this. Like, I watched this Real Sports with Brian Gumbel segment today about kids that made $3 million playing Fortnite, And I look at that and I'm like, what the? Like, I just look at them like they're fucking whippersnappers. But I'm 41 years old, so I'm part of that, that's the way that life goes. All that being said, Jim Ross's voice to me sounds like professional wrestling. And I think that Excalibur and Shivani are good enough to pick up the pieces that I like all three of them as a booth together. And Jim Ross's shortcomings don't bother me enough to make me want to see him go away. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I think that's a correct answer. If there is one.
If it was Excalibur and JR or Shivani and JR, I think it would kind of show up more to kind of piggyback your point.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, when they initially started it, we kind of, and this was when we were at Shock City, we kind of had a problem with JR at that point.
Well, that's when he was on New Japan, and he was clearly out of his league on New Japan.
More so, kind of my point, but just different organization, but basically same concept.
He didn't know any of the people, though.
And really didn't feel like he wanted to know.
No, and that was a little bit, his wife did die a tragic death, and he he was
all means,
bitter.
I'd be pissed off at the world, too.
He's getting less and less bitter, but he was really bitter there for a while.
For sure.
I love his podcast. His podcast is great.
Yeah.
I think with me, I'm just more interested to see what Excalibur could do if he was able just to go and have a color guy, but just go, because I think he is a very underrated and underutilized.
Oh, I think Excalibur's
you see it. It's
perfect.
Just you see it. It's just on Dark. It's him and Taz, and then you throw the third guy in, and you go from there. But I mean, they're grooming him. You're seeing it's going to happen. It's just JR is going to have to leave on his own terms. You can't push JR out at this point.
I only watched 2 matches.
Let's get to that 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
All right, the 3 count's going to be NXT Wednesday nights. What were you saying, Joe? Right before you thought that we weren't recording, you only watched 2 matches?
Yeah, I did.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
All right.
We record everything. Everything stays.
Reba, you're going to knock some shit out of there. So, start off with, what do you think about The Way being the name for Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory, their faction?
Well, yeah, I was about to say it's obviously off the Gargano way. I don't have a problem with that. I was really hoping that Austin Theory wasn't going to come out this week and eat the pin, which he didn't, thank God. If Gargano didn't have the North American title, maybe you could throw them in as a makeshift tag team, and God knows I hate those, but in this scenario where you don't really have a lot of solid tag teams in NXT, you could at least bridge the gap there. But all in all, I like the name. The match was fine.
A little better than fine, I thought. I mean, those are 4 pretty fun dudes. Gargano, Ruff, Kushida, and Austin Theory. Austin Theory ends up pinning Ruff. I'm glad they kept Kushida away from the pin.
Yeah, I was going to say ultimately, and I guess that was my point. I want to see Kushida versus Gargano in some form or fashion for the North American title.
I hope they're not pivoting towards Kushida versus Loomis. That would
that would suck.
Yeah, I mean, I like Loomis a lot, but
no, there's nothing.
I like Loomis more than most.
No.
We got Tyler Rust versus Tommaso Ciampa with Thatcher on the sidelines. What you think about that? What you think about that?
2 things. One, I liked how at the very end of the match where Ciampa takes Thatcher's shirt and wipes his sweat with it, and Thatcher's trying to get at him. But 2, I think more importantly, this is why I like NXT, because now NXT gave us someone to look out for in Tyler Rust. Tyler Rust didn't necessarily jump off the screen last week when he tried to interfere in the match with Ciampa last week, but this week he definitely jumped off the screen to where you knew he wasn't going to win, but there were a couple of times where he had Ciampa tied up in spots where it looked a little tight for Ciampa. So in that scenario, he got himself over, and that's all you can do. From that point, the Malcolm Bivens angle, I'm not sure where that's going to go, but I said it on Twitter. If you're going to start a new faction, Tyler Rust ain't a bad way to start it.
Fun match.
Yeah.
It was a fun match.
Yeah.
I think they need to start getting a little bit more heat on Thatcher if we're going to have a Thatcher-Ciampa rematch, because Thatcher just kind of looks like a buffoon at this point. I love Timothy Thatcher. I'm on record. We got into this last week. We had a Shotzi Blackheart promo. I don't get her. We had a Grizzled Young Veterans promo. I don't really get them.
Oh, dude, what?
I mean, I think they're both good workers.
Come on.
Listen, it's a shitty name.
Get away from the name. Get away
I have a hard
from
time
the
doing
name.
that. I have a hard time doing
Get away
that.
from the name.
You know,
Okay?
wrestling, it's the whole package, you know? I gotta be into the whole package.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So
I mean, I know that they can work. There's no doubt they can work.
easily.
I know that they can work.
Easily.
Yes.
Okay. Get away from the name.
Okay, that's fine. Grizzly Young Veterans, they're great. What do you think about them, Joe?
The name sucks.
Thanks, man. I love having Joe here. Oh, this is so nice.
Seriously, the name
Jesus,
was
Reba.
Christmas cover.
the name was a joke that the Good Brothers used on their podcast. They had like a little song about it and everything, about Anderson and Gallows, and
that makes me even madder.
yeah, it's just like a joke. And then these guys took it.
This is wrestling. You got to take that shit seriously.
This is the first I've heard of this. That's why I'm looking at you saying
it's like
this.
cartoony. Those guys are too good to have.
It's just a bad name. Yeah.
They'll go up to the main roster. They'll change the name. It'll be
Maybe
fine.
not. I mean, that's not even guaranteed. Okay, next up. Now, this is really what we're talking about here. We had Kyle O'Reilly versus Pete Dunne in a TV match that got 23 minutes. I'm assuming this is one of the matches that you watched, Joe?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Had 23 minutes. This is a perfectly constructed match that built and built and built till probably the last 7 minutes were edge of your seat, breathtaking. It seemed the whole time that Kyle O'Reilly was going to win because Pete Dunne versus Finn Balor. Well, I guess Pete Dunne versus Finn Balor could have been. Yeah, it seemed like Pete Dunne was going to win. I don't know. I just never thought that Kyle O'Reilly was going to lose. I guess you're in the opposite.
Go ahead, Joe. I'll let you start.
I think the biggest thing for me was I was just glad to see a clean finish. No bullshit, no interference, nothing, no roll up crap,
no overbooking.
Yeah, it was just a great match with a good clean finish, and you got two guys who wrestle a very similar style, who can do just about anything. I'm such a fan of both guys.
Love them both,
and Pete Dunne is like maybe my favorite wrestler right now, besides Kenny Omega.
Technical masterpiece, as my friends over across the pond would say.
How old is he? Sorry, JB, I didn't mean to cut you off, but how old is Pete Dunne?
25 or so?
Yeah, I was about to say he's in the early 20s.
We got another 15 years.
He ain't going nowhere anytime soon. I thought there would be some fuckery, but they cleared off Oni Lorcan, Danny Burch, and Undisputed Era kind of early. Fandango coming out of nowhere was that was the only quote-unquote overbooking where they got, Fandango, Drake Maverick, Killian Dane all involved, but it got the outsiders, for lack of a better term, away from the ring. So it was basically, like you said, a one-on-one match. From there, it was, for me, it was like watching two Zack Sabre Juniors, for lack of a better term, just go at it for 23 minutes. Got a little stiff towards the end.
It was a banger.
I was surprised, honestly. I didn't think they would go with Kyle O'Reilly versus Finn Balor Part 2. I'm all for it. I kind of thought they would go with Pete Dunne just because of the week before, 2 weeks before, when they had Finn Balor kind of bring out Undisputed Era, and it was against Kings of NXT. Pete Dunne's on the other side, so that kind of made sense. If you went with the way they went with, that makes sense too. So, I mean, at least either way they went would have made sense. I didn't have a problem with either or. Shit, we can run Kyle O'Reilly on Finn Balor back again. Let's just see what happens. Nobody breaks a fucking jaw this time.
Do you think it's possible that Kyle O'Reilly wins?
No. Karrion Kross and Finn Balor is the end game.
Do you think it's possible that there is some sort of chicanery that will keep Kyle O'Reilly from winning, or do you think Kyle O'Reilly loses clean?
The only fuckery I see would be Adam Cole putting the knife in the back.
Ooh, that is hot. That is hot. Too bad I don't have the heat heating up anymore.
No, we can always get that back. But no, seriously, I'll say this: how Kyle O'Reilly is going up. Adam Cole has his star is quote unquote going down. He's going towards the background. More times than not, in heel factions, this is where the Adam Cole character ultimately turns. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could happen.
I would say that they're not heels anymore, but
true.
But one of them has to be a heel, and Kyle O'Reilly is certainly being positioned as a face and has been for a while.
Good for him. Shit, I'm glad that they're not just going back to Adam Cole. They're trying to build Kyle O'Reilly, and they're doing a good job with it.
Absolutely. We had a Bronson Reed vignette. He's coming back. He's a big old boy. I like Bronson Reed. Then we had Karrion Kross versus a jobber. Karrion Kross goes over quickly. Karrion Kross is an impressive squash machine. I could watch that dude squash people for a long time. It is fun to watch him squash people.
Yeah, for sure. Damian Priest, Karrion Kross obviously is next on deck. I kind of feel bad for Damian Priest because He just lost the North American title. He's probably going to end up losing to Damian Priest at some point. And then from there, it'll probably be, like I said, Cross versus Finn Balor for the title. Well, that's probably my guess. Kyle O'Reilly can win that match. I just don't think that they're going to do that just yet.
Do you know who my favorite squash machine of all time was?
Do tell.
Ryback.
Fuck that dude.
I loved when Ryback was taking jobbers and just putting two of them on his back. Oh my God, that was so
I'll give
good.
You that.
That was so good.
I'll give you that.
They ran with that for a long time, man.
I'll give you that. That was like the WWE Goldberg version. It was borderline.
Oh, it was funny though. Yelling "Feed me more" is legitimately funny. Holy shit!
Feed me more.
Then we had
funny.
Swerve and Everrise do a Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm. Toni Storm goes over. I'm assuming that's the other match that you watched.
Yep.
Now the difference between NXT women, as you were saying earlier, and the women on AEW is night and day, major leagues to little leagues. It's not even close because,
barring a few certain talents, yeah, you're right.
I mean, but the consistent women's division that shows up on NXT and even in the WWE main roster when in non-pandemic times when you had, Charlotte and fucking Asuka. I mean, Asuka is really, she's kind of slumming right now. They should have, I don't know why they're not doing Asuka, Shayna Baszler right now, but they aren't. And that Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm match was incredible.
They tore the house down. They were incredible.
I'll go this far. Piggyback on what you said, Ripley and Toni Storm was really, really good. I was kind of surprised that Raquel Gonzalez got involved, but it's not necessarily the end of the world. I really think that Rhea Ripley ultimately is on the way up to the main roster to get her receipt on Charlotte, but that's another story for another time. Now, that said, I will agree with the fact that AEW has not done a good job with their women's division, where NXT has kind of dipped a little bit, but then when they got Toni Storm,
They've showcased it.
Well, yeah, but they
really have.
But they brought in good talent as well, and that's part of the AEW problem is that they haven't brought in really good talent. The obvious name out there is Tessa Blanchard. That makes sense, but they haven't brought her in. The talent that they have brought in, they haven't cultivated. NXT has done that, and Raquel Gonzalez is basically the poster child for that. When she threw up Rhea Ripley and caught her and then threw her into the fucking post, I was like, oh my. Okay, see, this is the chick that I've been saying that I've been waiting to see for a long, long time, and I've been tooting the horn for a little bit. Hopefully she gets the NXT title before they move her up to the main roster and fuck her up. That said, all the raw talent is there. She just has to get more of that green off the apple, turn it red, and just let her go.
I'm going to say something that might not sound very popular right now.
And that would be different because, oh, shit! Christian, Jesus Christ.
Oh, shit, Stone Cold's here. No, we're just watching the match.
I wish.
So I'm going to say something that's going to sound not very popular. At least I'm going to ask this question, okay? So AEW is killing NXT, right? NXT, you can tell when AEW trots out these curtain jerker matches on Dynamite that it's always these barn burner tag team matches, Young Bucks, Private Party, guys that can absolutely fly, shit like that. And in terms of counter programming, NXT often trots out a women's match, which is a sound strategy. If you're trying to grab people, most people are going to watch the Young Bucks versus Private Party or something of that nature. But, if somebody's looking for some counter programming, then you might want to watch Shotzi Blackheart versus Indy Hartwell or, whoever, right? Is that one of the reasons why NXT is losing so bad? Are they putting too much of a premium on women's wrestling? And I'm asking that not as a sexist, but as a pragmatist.
I don't think they're putting too much of a premium on it, but I mean it's one of their two things they do well. Okay.
The other one being
is basically the
Johnny
top
Gargano.
It's top tier. Is their top tier of their roster?
I mean, NXT does a lot of things well. I think that's. Let's not shit on NXT.
I'm not.
NXT's a good brand.
I'm not saying it's
company.
not.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
AEW,
They're getting smoked, though.
AEW's biggest weakness is the women's division. NXT I'll just keep it with NXT. NXT's biggest weakness is the tag team division. They do the women's division obviously well, and they do the men's pretty well. There's a few nitpicky things, but that's just me. That's my preference. I'm just saying in this scenario, if you have to lead off with something, you're probably leading off with, something that's going to capture the attention.
So you're saying they're leading off with their best foot
forward. This is what we have to work with.
That's fair. I
now,
wouldn't.
Granted, this is kind of the reason why I'm glad I don't watch. I have to work Wednesdays, and I don't have to decide which one I'm going to watch or bounce back and forth.
Oh, it's glorious.
Dude, that would suck.
I love it
that would
so
suck,
much.
Man. I just want to watch one. And
the
go
only
back
time
and
you
watch
really
the
have to make a decision is at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and 8:45. Those are the only times you have to make a decision. Otherwise, you're flipping back and forth.
If there's a title match, then that's the show I want to watch first. Okay? If it's a double title match, I definitely want to watch that first. But the card basically tells me what I want to watch. But more times than not, truth be told, I watch AEW first because I feel like their matches will intrigue me more.
I'll tell you what, nobody tells me shit, including the card, except for my wife. Maybe my dog. Both of my cats.
Down.
I mean, if they start whining, I guess I got to give them some shit. Anything else about WWE NXT Wednesday night? Joe, nothing else to say?
Nope.
Joe is transfixed by the wrestling in front of him. He has just been watching. He's just been watching the pay-per-view that usually the rest of us have on in the background. Joey just can't stop watching. He loves it so much.
It's the chosen one. It's Drew McIntyre. Look how young he is.
It was 11 years ago. That's going to do it for our 3 counts.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, Reba, you ready to do some predictions? We're going to get in those TLC 2020 predictions, everybody.
She's riveted. You can take my predictions, Reba. I'd say it's the last of the year. It's TLC. Nobody gives a shit.
All right, so TLC is coming up this Sunday. There are 6 matches on the card.
That's it?
Only 6 matches on the card. No triple threats. No there's tag team matches, but yeah. No multi-team matches or anything like that. No that's multi-person weird. Matches.
6 matches seems awfully low, but that's fine.
I'm sure there'll be one added. It's going to be like
a pre-show match or some nonsense.
Oh shit! I can't even remember the guy's name. What the fuck is the guy's name? That's Zack Ryder's buddy, or that's Rob Gronkowski's buddy.
What is his fucking name? Oh my god!
What's the guy's name who's Rob Gronkowski's buddy?
Hype Bros. We don't get hype.
Mojo Rawley.
Mojo Rawley. It's probably like it's gonna be like Mojo Rawley versus Curtis Axel or something. So predictions. Here we go.
I know everybody's like, Mojo Rawley, you idiots.
I mean, that's your guys' fault for remembering that shit.
It took me a minute.
So we have New Day versus the Hurt Business for the Raw Tag Team titles. The 2 guys from the Hurt Business that are wrestling are Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Joe, I'll let you go first.
I got the Hurt Business going over here, boys. I think it's time that they get some titles on themselves.
I think it'd be great if they had all sorts of titles. So, Joe's going Hurt Business. What do you think, JCB?
I would love to agree with Joey. It's what they should do. But what they should do and what they will do are 2 totally different things. I got New Day retaining. I think this is going to be more so about Cedric Alexander kind of not breaking away from the group, but you kind of see the last few weeks on Raw where he's kind of threw Shelton Benjamin underneath the bus, making Shelton Benjamin look like the weak link. And I think that's kind of the angle that they're going to pursue. So in if you're going to do that, the best way to probably do that is to have New Day retain. So I'm keeping with New Day.
That's fair enough. I'm going with you. I'm going New Day. When in doubt, go with the faces, especially in tag team wrestling for Vince McMahon. I mean, there's no doubt.
Okay, shit.
We got Sasha Banks going against Carmella for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I'll go first. You know, Jason already went first. I'm not going to let him fucking talk,
say,
man.
No, there's nothing for me to say.
I'm going Sasha Banks also.
Thank
Where are you
you
going, Joe?
Yeah, Sasha Banks. Easy.
See.
All right. I didn't see Carmella on TV the other night with her sommelier. Who is it?
The face looks familiar. I think he's been on like Tough Enough or something. Maybe Joey, if he saw it, it would jog his memory.
Joey probably's been to Denny's with him or something.
Dude, I mean, it's one of those familiar faces where if Joey saw it, he might actually know it. I'm not saying it because I'm trying to be funny. I'm being dead ass serious. But it was just some random guy, and he distracted Sasha on SmackDown, kind of got involved in the match, and then Carmella broke the bottle over Sasha's back, which got her some heat. So, I mean, you know, I like the build. I wish it wasn't right away. If this was like, you know, the next person that Sasha had to face, then maybe I would think Carmella would win the title. It's not like she hadn't won it already. So, I mean, you know, that's cool too. But I just can't see Carmella beating Sasha at this point. Not right now.
You know, one time Joey dropped me off at the airport, and I was in the airport, and I was still walking through security, and I get a text message from Joe, and all it says is, I'm the only person at this Waffle House. And I took a screenshot of it, and to this day, it's my favorite text I've ever received in my life. It's so fucking...
I really wanted Waffle House. It was like...
What time was it?
Like 2 in the day.
Yeah, it was like in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Nobody goes to Waffle House in the afternoon. So, okay, so let's keep it going here. Guys, I wish that we had some ones that were a little bit not so much no-brainers. But we got Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens got very little to work with Friday night for his promo, and he cut the shit out of that promo. I do love Kevin Owens so much. I'm going Roman Reigns, though. There's no way that there's just no way that Roman Reigns is not losing this to Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is certainly a worthy competitor to him, though, in terms of professional wrestling. Joe.
Yeah, there's no way Roman Reigns loses this match. Not happening.
Not happening.
Yeah, right. Might as well strike up the band for that one. Let's make it to trifecta, obviously. But then I guess, is this the time where we want to sidebar and talk about the possible Roman Reigns WrestleMania match, or we'll wait till the end on that one?
Oh, no. Well, we can talk about it now, where there were rumors going around. Well, there were a few rumors this week. It was a big Keith Lee week in terms of Rumor Town, where Keith Lee, it was rumored that Vince got pissed off at him and Otis and the guy from Dio Madden.
Dabba-Kato, whatever the fuck his name is.
But he got mad at some of the big guys because they couldn't work very well. He sent them back down to the Performance Center to get some training. In the same week, another rumor was passed around that it was going to be Keith Lee versus Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre is the rumored main event at WrestleMania in a triple threat match. And in the same week, WWE Network released a Keith Lee, what's it called, 24/7 or...
documentary, basically.
Yeah. So, we're getting worked, right? I mean, does Keith Lee...
if Keith Lee's in the main event in that triple threat scenario, it's there to eat the pin and eat the pin only. I'm not falling for the okie doke on that. No, I'm just not. Brock Lesnar is not going to come back to eat another pin. I don't care how much you guys say he was been devalued since he's lost to Drew McIntyre. I'm just not hearing that. I don't know. Okay, he's not coming back to lose and get pinned again. Keith Lee's in that match, he's going to lose that match. Now, that said, I got a really hard time understanding where you go with Drew. What's the end game with Drew? I thought it was going to be Brock. Well, I shouldn't say that.
I say let him be champ for 2 years.
Rock and Roman is the WrestleMania prediction I have. But now apparently
Stick with
Rock,
it.
No, apparently Rock is saying that he's going to wait a year. So now that makes the Roman thing wide open. Okay? Big E is one of the guys I would love to see. Daniel Bryan is probably the safest of the bets because he's still with a name. You have that connection. You haven't seen him for a while, so that kind of makes sense too.
You're getting worked, man.
No, I know Keith Lee would only be there to take the pin, and that's why I don't want to see that. Okay? That's 1 + 1 is 2, okay? I don't want to see Keith Lee get built up to eat the pin, ultimately. That's where my problem is.
All right, so next up, we will go Bray Wyatt versus Randall Keith Orton in a Firefly Inferno Funhouse Waffle House match.
You said Waffle House.
Tinder
Smothered, covered, and
scattered, smothered, and covered is the way you like. No, scattered, smothered, and covered is where you get it. Cheese, onions, and gravy.
Talk to me.
I just got hungry.
Right.
Joey, who you got? Fiend versus RKO.
Well, first off, let me just say that I don't give a fuck. Second off, I got the Fiend going over. Can't kill the Fiend, man. Has the Fiend lost a match?
The Fiend has not. Bray Wyatt has.
Yeah, so there you go.
Now,
Wait, the Fiend lost to Goldberg.
Well, everyone loses to Goldberg.
Kayfabe style. Who you got, Jason?
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going with the Fiend on this one. I kind of miss Alexa Bliss in this build. I really think that they're dropping the ball with that. There could be more done with her here, but it makes, I don't know if the Fiend is a face or not. It feels like Orton is the heel. I mean, he did put Bray Wyatt on fire, so I mean that's usually some heelish ass shit. I don't know. I kind of lean towards Joe on this one. I really don't have an opinion on this one. I would have a hard time seeing Randy Orton winning this one unless it was some fuckery involved. Now, what the match looks like, Blood Girl Raven actually kind of made a interesting point. The original Inferno match had like the fire on the outside. There was no ring ropes. So like every time someone hit the mat, the fire went up. Maybe that's the Firefly Inferno match.
That was Bray Wyatt versus Kane.
I think it was Taker Kane originally.
Yeah, Taker Kane. Second match was a Inferno match.
God.
It was awful.
All right, I'm taking Bray Wyatt too. I mean,
I'm not saying that that's what it is, but that's my guess.
You're just saying that that's what you're into.
It's going to be the drizzling shits no matter what.
All right,
hey, don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I'm saving the most unpredictable one for last, even though it might not be the most exciting. So,
true story.
McIntyre versus AJ. I'll go first. I'm going to go McIntyre. There's no way AJ goes over here. I would be shocked if AJ goes over here. What do you got, Joe?
You know, AJ's doing some of his best work right now.
Yes, he's good.
I think that, like, he's one of the only wrestlers that has gone to every company and just dominated. And anywhere he goes, he excels. He does great. Drew McIntyre is winning this match.
Jason?
No, obviously, this is the trifecta as well. I just want to piggyback on what Joey was saying. It's one of those things where I know we have our own personal Mount Rushmore. I do as well. I don't hear a lot of people, and maybe we just don't ask a lot of people. I don't hear a lot of people say AJ Styles is on their Mount Rushmore, and I agree with Joey in the sense that AJ, everywhere he's gone, he's been the champ. He's done things and beaten people and have great matches where if this was somebody else, I think we would champion him a little bit more. Don't get me wrong. Chris Jericho is a great example. Okay?
But what are you talking about, though? Like, AJ Styles is nowhere near Chris Jericho. Mount Rushmore? Are you fucking kidding me with AJ Styles? You're not fucking coming to me with AJ Styles on Mount Rushmore. Of course nobody has AJ Styles on their Mount Rushmore.
Okay, so
He's
you're
good.
Okay, so you're going to tell me that champion in 3 different promotions, multi-champion here in WWE. Let me make sure I'm saying this correctly. Was the Triple Crown winner in TNA? Yeah. Yep.
TNA.
It's still around, right?
What's the Triple Crown winner in TNA?
Well, I think you know where the Triple Crown winner is.
X Division heavyweight and what else? Tag?
Tag.
God damn, dude.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, you win in TNA. TNA.
You act like
guys,
TNA
no
is
fight.
not
Come
relevant
on.
right now.
I got a couple belts in TNA.
Oh, Negro, please. just stop.
What are we talking about
Let's
here?
not say stop. He went over to Japan.
I won the tag.
He went
I won
over
the
to
tag belts with
Japan.
Abyss twice.
What the fuck? You ain't shit. You went over to Japan, held business Japan, and then came back.
Come on,
against
Mount
all
Rushmore
odds.
though. AJ Styles, Mount Rushmore.
Look,
Like he's Kurt Angle or some shit.
there's 4 spots. It's not Kurt Angle. This ain't Dylan is the hottest rapper ever.
I mean, I'm kind of fucking around, but I'm kind of not. Like, of course, nobody has AJ Styles on their Mount Rushmore. I'm sure some kids do, like some Zoomers or Zillennials or whatever they call them. But I mean, nobody our age's got him
I'm not
because
saying.
we saw Ric Flair.
Look, I'm not saying that. Okay, even I have definitely put Rock on the corner of.
Wait, isn't Hogan on yours?
Yeah, he has to be.
Oh, and you don't put AJ Styles on yours? You think Hogan's better than AJ Styles?
Oh, you cannot even argue Hulk Hogan. It has to be at least
I
on
know,
Mount Rushmore.
I'm just
It is-
fucking with you.
You cannot even argue it. Without Hulk Hogan, a lot of this shit don't happen.
Okay, and last and certainly least, we have Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Asuka and TBD. Okay, Jason, I know that you've been champing at the bit.
Oh, I really haven't.
To-
If I was chomping at the bit, I'd just say it.
It's champing at the bit.
God, I hate you. Man, you're like a mom with that shit. In this case, a dad.
Who's your
Champing at the bit.
Who's your TBD?
It's been a while. She's been gone. It's close to Royal Rumble season. TBD is Charlotte, in my opinion.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So,
Charlotte and Asuka come back, and that's how they win the titles.
well, if they come back and win the titles, that means Asuka's got 2 titles. All right. Okay, so
I mean,
he's taking Asuka and Charlotte. I was thinking Asuka and Charlotte too. I'm taking them also.
Why don't you go ahead and mark me down there for another Asuka and Charlotte?
Did you think it was going to be Charlotte?
Yeah.
Or were you thinking somebody else?
No, it's going to be Charlotte.
Oh, really? Are you just piggybacking off of us?
No, Becky's going to show up 8 months pregnant. And
stop. No. We ain't gonna do that. As I say,
it could be Rhea Ripley or something. I don't know.
Oh, here comes Becky with the placenta bomb.
see, we ain't doing that.
The placenta bomb? What would you call it? What would you call a finishing move by a pregnant lady?
I don't know. Okay, I haven't
The
been
Lamaze?
Hey.
The Lamaze lock?
Murray, put that on a T-shirt. That is the next T-shirt.
Dude, the Lamaze lock is pretty good.
That's great. Look, Becky will be back when Becky gets back, okay? Right now,
Or maybe
Charlotte,
not.
No, Becky. I'm not saying that Becky's coming back in 2021, but if it's 2022, I would probably say that makes sense too. I'm for that as well. But for this scenario, this feels like Charlotte. I can't think of anybody else that can come back in and make an impact, for lack of a better term. Charlotte feels right. And I think they'll end up going over and getting the titles.
Man, 2009 Mickie James is on TV right now, and I'm pretty sure I saw her in Grafton in that same year at like the loading dock, wearing those same jeans, probably drinking some margaritas, maybe some pineapple juice in it. You know what I'm saying?
I remember I was backstage one time. I was working with Mickey, and me and another wrestler.
Where the fuck was I at for that episode?
We're back there talking, and she walks by in like a 2 sizes too small pink sweater, and she's like, "Oh, I look like a school teacher tonight." And the said wrestler, who was big and may have had a name of an animal with a horn on it, says, "I don't think I read any teachers like you, and if I did, I would have never paid attention."
Wrestler with the name of okay, I got you. Okay,
But
hippopotamus.
They
called him Hippo.
One of the sweetest, nicest people and most attractive people I've ever seen in person.
Ooh, Mickey James?
Yeah.
Well, of course, man. I believe that.
This is banned from ringside.
All right, we've got some birthdays this week. Stone Cold Steve Austin is 56. RVD is 50. Trish Stratus is 44. That doesn't seem right, man. That really just does not seem right. Gene Mean, R.I.P. Mean Gene Okerlund is 78. Mauro Ranallo, we missed thee. He was great. He's 51. Still alive. He's just not on WWE
He
anymore.
did just a quick sidebar. When I went over to Joey's house a couple Saturdays ago to watch that Mike Tyson Roy Jones Jr. fight, he did a really fucking good job. Him and Snoop, I thought, did a really good job. Those were the two standout guys. I know it sounds funny, but it was really fucking entertaining.
I'm sure it was good.
And I think Snoop is going to do a bang-up job on AEW whenever he comes on AEW.
Primo Cologne is 38. Only Lorcan is 35. Otis, 29. Luke Gallows is 37. The Great Muta is 58.
No, I think he's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive. And Jamie Noble is 44.
Here's a little fun fact for you. Primo Cologne played Little League with one Cardinals catcher, Yadier Molina.
I believe that. Can't walk your way off the island. Oh, wait, they're from Puerto Rico.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah,
You ain't shit.
I corrected myself right away. For F&B Eatery,
Check.
for Zach Bowman,
Check.
for Murray Man, for Lucha
Check.
Chris,
Check.
for Vice,
Check.
for Tinder Mahal,
Check.
Joey O'Farrell, for Jason Cornelius Bell.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
I am Bill Vagey. Support your local weed dealer.
Check.
Black Lives Matter.
Check.
Matter. Support your local restaurants.
Check.
And everybody boo the heels.
Ooh.